All right, we are live. How is the sound? Can everybody hear me? And how is the video quality? We have an Alchemy stream workshop of a day where I will be showing a little bit of the setups, a live test demonstration of making some monatomic zinc silver, also the prep and demonstration, getting ready to do a full colloidal silver, um, make your own video stream with Paul Cook on Friday, and a series that I will be doing with that coming up. And I guess the video is working all right there. So getting different camera angles now to show how connecting everything, the materials everybody needs to do it, and then also like this guy here, where there'll be a live feed of the experiment as well between Bert and Ernie here. I'm going to plug it in and then we'll observe what's going on. Also, I'm going to be uploading more of my old experiments and recordings of all the different so many monatomic, plasmoid, magnetic, electrolysis experiments, demos, recordings that I have of the past, small test videos that are going to be coming in the near future. This is just one of the first, but I'll let it play. Just a short clip, but that I literally have hundreds of these plus hours and hours of long full recordings too of way more advanced mixtures of different metal elements, and that I've done over the last decade, but have not publicly released or published yet, that will be coming forward, as well as thousands, if not tens of thousands of pictures that I also have taken of the different experiments over the years, where I literally have files upon files of photos of these different self-arranging plasmid or plasmoid. There's several different plasma something or other. Anyways, formations of these plasma atomic structures and elements in this state, and how they swirl, how they move, how they create monoatomics, diatomics, triatomics, nanoclusters, and these exclusion zones, polarized waters, and what is essentially very advanced battery structures that are all the way from the simple jars to that I'm going to be doing more and more. Sorry, losing my train of thought there. Back to plugging in this guy. Right, now I remember what I was going to do. Here we go. That for anyone looking for the majority of my content and the very long, excellent guest streams, all the lives on the YouTube channel, whether it's Crypto Alchemist or my BurnEye, Mine's Third Eye ScienceGuy, two channels. When you go to the videos, there's very few uploads as it stands right now. That's why I'm saying in the uploads, it's going to proceed to be a lot more of the shorts of the experiments coming up. And then all of the podcasts, the collaborations, the different series, they can all be found under the live section of my YouTube pages. And what I'm going to be attempting to start doing within the next month or so is focusing on going through and starting to edit some smaller clips and specific videos out of a lot of these ridiculously long, amazing streams from the past. I think that's it. I'm going to stop rambling with that. Oh, it wasn't even showing, was it? Wow. This is what I thought I was scrolling through and showing all of these different videos in the live section of the pages and the videos. Not sure if you saw that or if I was rambling on, and it didn't make any sense. Anywho, back to showing the actual experiment here when I plug in what is the zinc as a cathode and a pure silver 1 ounce. I think gold maple, Canada's 99.99% minted silver anode into the salt water that also has a bit of my blood in it. The point of this process when making the nanostructures is that you'll see on the zinc cathode side immediately a foam coming up off of it, which is what the Keshe Foundation, as well as other institutes, researchers confirmed are your amino acids, essentially your own DNA or RNA, I guess, building blocks of your own cells, and what is then your resonant frequency of your own nanostructure when it's combined with the same nano field structure of these monoatomic gold and silver, zinc, copper, pure element atoms. And what is, I guess, more highly advanced biochemistry that the KFSSI, Keshe Foundation, actually goes into quite good documentation and explanation of it all. But I'm going to also start attempting and explaining more of. Now I'm just switching the microphone as I go over to the other camera angle. So please let me know the sound. The sound gets better as I come over there. I think it went a little lighter. Can everybody hear me right now? Is it better? And is the camera cutting out? So, for instance, like these silver coins, these are Olympic silver dollar commemorative coins. I'm going to be using these in the upcoming colloidal silver monoatomic silver production demo on with Paul Cook Hidden History channel stream this Friday. Yes, I have heard of this one. This one is actually quite a good quite a fascinating, the phantom blood experiment. Oh, is it frozen? Is it just frozen on the screen? Not sure if the stream is accurately recording. Oh yes, now it is. The foam coming off of this zinc cathode side. On the anode side, a 1 ounce silver coin. Originally, the missing one of those, just as it erodes and breaks down into the monoatomic state, nano state off the anode side, the cathode side, the zinc, which is creating this foam. The foam you can see on this side. So on that side of it, there we go. On the top here, all right, sorry, I couldn't see my other computer. The live image was freezing. Can you still hear me now? Is it a bit light in sound? Switch back on. So now it should be louder again. So above Ernie there on the right side, straight up on the top of the right of the blood water, you can see this cloud starting to form, this beigeish bulge up of nano amino materials. And it's quite fascinating that it's making this white flake, which is essentially a monoatomic powder when you dry it out and collect it in the same sort of mass as the pure monoatomic metal elements, that when you combine them and those pure resonant field forces together, you're amplifying them exponentially, and it's in harmonics with your own cells and resonant frequency of your biological nanostructure, electromagnetic resonance, and biomass. And that is the advanced science and understanding of how biochemistry, the universe in general works, life, I guess, and electromagnetic energies and forces and all of physics essentially mixed in with life in the universe. And this is the breakdown structure of it. And it, when given this new information and understanding of it, and then reading the ancient alchemical sciences advanced into the same fields of biochemistry, health, the shaman or the community village alchemists or high up alchemists on talking about their medical treatments and processes, taking the oils or the essence out of both herbs, life, and elements. It would be this nano structure, amino acid matter that is being produced here off this cathode side of the electrolysis reaction, and that it actually validates and makes sense of a much more advanced, ancient understanding in technology, treatment, society, sciences of the different fields of alchemy. Exactly, Jess. Real science, which matters. Did cannabis fields generate power for Egypt? Quite possibly. They just as likely did so in the Mexico or India. Where did cannabis originate from? And see, it's like I think it was all over at all times, especially through Central America, Europe, Eurasia, trading, advanced seafaring, trade society, and existence has been consistent throughout humanity's past for a very long time, just with many different resets in between, is what I'm coming to understand of it. All right, what else was I supposed to show and go over today? Real science, of course, is what this is. Sorry, clear my throat. Should have muted for that. All right, it's real science, and real science is the hashtag and the overall series of Weekend at Bernie's different podcast series and conferences, and the ongoing Science of Sound series, the ongoing Year of the Coil series, which we are now over halfway through, going on to episode 8 right away. There was first 6 episodes in 6 months. Now we're going to try to beef it up to 2 a month, if not 3, in tandem with a lot of working with Andreas Zertis. Shout out Zertis channel, all the multi-streaming we're doing together, as well as Campbell AutoDidactic and our AutoDidactic Alchemist alternative history weekly podcast streams. The Thursday MkCanada, Zertis's programs, that podcast that I co-stream with them. APEC, which we just did the very last one, apparently, at least for a little while. It's going on hiatus for a bit, but from that, I'm starting with the community a couple new projects, long-standing work in progress, finally coming to fruition. I'm once a month FreEEEC conference, that is Free Energy Electrical Engineering Conference, where the geeks meet and the freaks come out for the wildest works on working do-it-yourself free energy devices and advanced research, including the Hutchinson's crystal battery cells, my own alchemical saltwater battery cells, as well as Mike over at Faraday Research's graphite battery cells, water battery cells, and that also Jeremiah has been working on, built, and several others in the community, including, oh my goodness, if I had more, anywho, lots of you out there are replicating it. We're going to be doing a new episode with the Hutchinsons, most likely this upcoming weekend on Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to have to verify that, and it will be upcoming, but I'm going to be scheduling going forward all these different series on Fridays and Saturdays, alternating throughout the month with the Science of Sound, the Free Energy Electrical Engineering Conference, the Year of the Coil series, which also has Gerald, WPG, Enlighten for Truth. Of course, Join the Technicians, Exotic Propulsion, Jeremiah, and Matthew Rife of Rife Technologies, absolutely brilliant individual, as well as, of course, Mike Faraday Research in it, and all of that mass of ridiculous brain power and different machines and workings and inventions and understanding that they've all done, bringing it together and advancing it all in the community together, which also I will finally start. Another goal is to be getting the equipment of a couple signal generators, as well as variacs, and upgrading the equipment in in the lab here to start doing actual more advanced scientific testing and results of the experiments, but also safe experiments where I've built all of these triple solenoid coils, different wire wraps and systems that if you truly understand how current works, electromagnetism and everything, well, if you pump a lot of high frequency energy or any amount of high energy through coils and you have the wrong frequency energy, you can, there's a lot of force, big fields, possible explosions. Plasma fields is what essentially the ultimate goal, if you make it right, and healing plasma fields if you get the right amount of the right resonant frequencies through the right toroidal shape. And the triple donuts coil, this is one of the way I first wrapped it about 8 years ago now, but also Bob Grenier at Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project has done way more advanced blueprints of this triple donut coil and testing and working with several others in the advanced science community with high-end equipment with these triple donut coils, where they've actually been getting these plasma arc, plasma ball lightning essential clusters of energies within the coils when powered up that replicate the same sort of cold fusion effects as several of the Hutchinson effects, and that Bob Grenier's current work is writing this scientific book of validation of the Hutchinson effect, John Hutchinson's several examples and demos of it, the metals, where Bob Grenier over the years has obtained the physical specimen samples of John Hutchinson's metals that were all warped and transmutated, and observed them through high-end microscopes and filming, and deciphered it all, verified the structures and all of it and the chemical compositions of it, and now has gone out and verified several others in the community with these different bagel coils and devices, replicating, though a slightly different manner than how Hutchinson's originally generated these fields and effects, but through the triple donut coils. And I look forward to finally putting lots of voltages and power through these and seeing what actually happens, because fascinating stuff happens when you just put small amounts of energy and electricity into these coils, and elements in alchemy, which is electrochemistry, electrolysis. Also comes out of it is pure hydrogen, the atomic hydrogen atom, the main isotope that out of this electrolysis reaction, breaking down H2O into atomic H, as well as HHO, missed when harmonized and made right, which is the chemical composition of what's also known as Brown's gas, and what I believe was the success empowering Stanley Meyer's HHO water powered car as well. Sorry, I haven't really been paying attention too much to the chat so far, as I've just been rambling on with everything. Nice. It was, and desperately need to get Dutch Synths Michael on to do an interview. Amazing human and work and scientific mind, genius, dedication, his unbelievably accurate and scientifically sound and proven over and over again earthquake prediction system, and just doing the forecasts in the news and covering it and consistently nonstop over what, like a decade now? It's insane. But alternative history, the star forts, him finding that a lot of the earthquakes are actually specifically happening focal points of these old buried star forts, how he got into the topic of star forts and noticing it, and then also the mega terraforming structures that Dutch Sense has found on a continental level. It's, thank you, Disciple of the Messiah One. We really need to have him on, especially with Paul Cook and myself, for a discussion about it all, because we're all getting attacked and censored, Dutch more than anybody, and for the longest amount of time. And it's insane that how someone's work who constantly is notifying the public of upcoming seismic activity and notifications of warnings of earthquakes in advance, which has literally saved God knows how many lives, verified over and over again, and that modern academia and government institutional services, the Hurricane Service government agency, attacking him, saying that it's all a sham, when in fact it's highly advanced science and understanding of this, whatever Earth is, how the forces move through it. And it's just crazy how they attack them. Even Vice News, if you know, at first time I saw a couple stories, I was like, oh cool, then it's like, wow, they're just an attack. Like more Mockingbird media, but they attacked him. It was ridiculous. Instead, they promoted some other dude. They did an entire attack piece on Dutch Sense, and then at the very end, promoted some other random supposed earthquake dude guy that was like false and gave a horrible false prediction that turned out to be the worst. Didn't even work, while attacking Dutch, who, it was like this worst dude, his one prediction was what, just LA gonna have one, and then it never happened. And it was like, oh, that's all he can do, and it was wrong. Meanwhile, Dutch Sense is like literally giving every freaking continent of this realm every single week, if not daily, updates of how it all, like, it's, and for a week in advance, where they're going to happen, how big they're going to be. It's mind-blowing. I guess they're just so embarrassed that they're that far behind. They must think he's a wizard or something conjuring it. No, it's real science, aka real science. Year of the Coil. Another part that we will be doing with the Year of the Coil with Gerald, with Jeremiah. We've already been doing with Jeremy Reese, alien scientist, shout out as well. And Rife Technologies, Matthew Rife, WPG Enlightened for Truth, and of course Zerdis, where if you've been following me for a while and seen, well, if you haven't seen, let's see if I can find it right now. The 6-foot lettuce plant I grew in my backyard this summer that through watering it with colloidal gold silver water and actually giving it a little bit of physical colloidal or monoatomic gold and this lettuce plant, normal romaine lettuce, in my garden grew 6 feet tall. We literally had 10 salads off of its leaves, and it grew to, it's mind-blowing if you haven't seen it. So I'm trying to find it because it needs to be seen. Was it in this one? No. The original. It's on Alien Scientist channel, on Jeremy Reese's channel. A Pollock art. I don't know if I got that one. Alien Scientist, Jeremy Reese channel. So also the shadow banning, but not just shadow banning, the straight out restriction and deletion of views, and it's insane, and subscribers. And Jeremy Reese, 109,000 subscribers to the zero for over 2 years now. They won't let him gain a single subscriber. It's stayed at exactly 109,000. It's crazy. But to the point, awesome man. How I got introduced to APEC and the APEC conference, Alternative Propulsion Engineering Conference, also originally AntiGravity Propulsion Engineering Conference, has always been essentially one and the same. And the epic amount of geniuses and brilliance through all of the hundreds of presenters through all of the APEC conferences that I've been able to connect with since co-hosting it for over a year now of its series, which sorry on the silence and the not finding it. How long ago was it? It's January. Okay, yeah, I guess. Right. Was this the one? Let us see. Let's see. And that's a pun because we're looking for lettuce. I don't believe this is the one. Let us go back. Ah, I believe this is the one I was looking for. Ah, boom! We found it. And it was right at the right spot. Here we go. Okay. Now, this was the garden, and there's a row of Swiss chard, a row of spinach, and a row of lettuce. All the rest of the lettuce only grew about 6 to 10 inches by this point in the year. And right here, you can see a couple of the sunflowers in the back. And in between these sunflowers, oh, can you actually see the mouse of sunflower, sunflower, and this giant thing with the head of lettuce right here? It's about 4.5 feet tall at this point. The 5-foot sunflowers at this point. And I do have another video in September. I believe this one's in August when this was shot, of this lettuce. Let's so this is the and full leaves off of it. Okay, yeah. So see the kale, that was romaine lettuce, beets, and how small everything else is, and look at the size of this massive lettuce. This is the stick of it. So all of those little tiny pieces there, it was giant leaves, romaine leaves, that were harvested off of it and eaten by myself and my days throughout the year. And you can see a little bit of the actual young leaves. And yeah, so that was the 6-foot tall golden, monoatomic golden lettuce grown. So horticulture, Keshe Foundation has gone huge into doing agricultural with this Vancouver ormus, another good horticultural results testing documentation of these massive 3, 4, 5 times multiplied times crop productivity, or what is it? I don't know, overall harvest. Ormus is orbitally rearranged monatomic. Oh, something. Frick. I forget the entire acronym of David Hudson's Ormus, but it's the same as GANS, Keshe's GANS, gas, atom, nano, solid state, which is one monoatomic single atom in this unbound plasma, fourth state of matter, that is this it's superconductive nano plasma matter, I guess, quantum matter. Anywho, these are some of my saltwater jar bath that it's actually producing. There's no to any battery or wires going in other than just to the jars to themselves. Basically, the nails, the coils connected to each other. There's no other in or source of energy to them, so they're generating current voltage on their own, as well as hydrogen, and producing hydrogen electrolysis potential and energy consistently, greenly, renewably, all on its own. And the same setup is still running outside right now, even though half of it's frozen. One half of the jar it's warm, or one of the jars is warm enough that there's enough saline salt in it that it hasn't frozen, even though overall is below zero. That it's still producing hydrogen and energy in the cold and still running 6 months later. It's just fascinating stuff. Yeah. Rife Technologies, Matthew Rife, huge success historian wants to go into, is asking to, and crucial part of Rife Technology is horticulture and multiplication in it, and rejuvenation, health, all of that. Crop yield, there we go. Crop yield increase as well as nutrient increase or energy. Anyways, it's a big part of it. I'm fascinated in it. I've also seen Daniel Nunes on YouTube, but his channel is no longer there, or the videos are no longer there. But they had several where they had their PoE vortex coils, Peace on Earth, rodent style vortex coils, but more advanced, in the dark, powering and growing a bunch of celery, as well as like alfalfa and something else. I believe they did several different runs of the growing and recording of it all in the dark, just pumping these energies, growing vegetables and harvesting it. It was crazy, and now it's no longer there. So I've been fascinated by that. Vancouver Island Ormus's results, my own 6-foot lettuce, and also Gerald, WPG Enlightened for Truth's video, or own experiments himself, where he's, in his coils, zapped some seeds and got, just from pulsing them with energies, increased growth rates and yield as well. And it seems to be a very, very consistent thing, and possibly what the ancients were doing with a lot of their pyramids and all of that. Okay, point being, this right here is a mixture of monoatomic zinc, copper, silver, and gold. Each of the elements that I listed, I used a 100% pure anode of that metal, as well as the same on the cathode side. So it was both gold on gold when making gold, both silver on silver when making silver, same with zinc, same with copper. And that's when you have matched the metals with the anode and the cathode sides, and harvest it, the anode metal breaking down at the beginning of the reaction, you get this pure white, fluffy, monoatomic single atom of it every time. And that is what dissolves and supercharges into this water, creating what is known as colloidal silver water, or colloidal any element. This one being colloidal, producing colloidal zinc, copper, silver, gold water. And that the useful part, the drinkable part, becomes the top portion of the water when you let the physical monoatomic metal element matter condense at the bottom, and only drink the water that is exclusion zoned, pure water, dissolved parts per million of these metals. And that is what I will be doing a bunch of episodes, a series of them on educational, of doing it all, starting with Paul Cook, and I believe Campbell will be joining as well for that, of the AutoDidactic Alchemist, Hidden History, Paul Cook, Colloidal Silver Stream, already scheduled and up on Paul's channel this Friday coming up. So for those that are interested in joining in on that do-it-yourself right, I do the audio switch here. As I will go around and show off the materials that everybody will need that wants to partake in it themselves. Yeah, I definitely need to get some sleep. I have been up all night and into today, but we're getting work done, and it is because I'm scheduling all of these conferences, all of these shows, and as soon as I am done here in the studio in maybe a half hour's time, maybe 20 minutes, we'll see how long we go. I've got a whole bunch of emails to send off to confirm. Oh, thank you, Jillian. How is everybody? Jody VD, standing tall. Oh, why can't I add you on the wrong one? All right, sorry. I have been neglecting the chat completely today. It's because I have yet to sleep. Going slow and steady. The cognitive ability slows down a bit, especially when you're a pothead like myself. But just keep on plugging away and getting the Alchemy done, getting the videos scheduled, the work done, the emails. Oh, as well, I will be doing fundraising or sponsorships. I'm looking into. Apparently, factually, I have received about 100 different emails of offers of sponsorships, ranging between cryptocurrency, investment, advertising offers, to video games, to different products, and some seem like legitimate, worthwhile, non-scammy, paid sponsorship offers that I will be following up with to try to actually generate some income to fund everything, well, just living, as well as all the projects and videos that I plan on doing and am doing and continue to do. Currently, we are live. This stream is live on my main Facebook profile account, BurnEye AV Conkin, which is, as always, maxed out at 5,000. It doesn't allow me to have more. But also my second Facebook account, BurnCron Exports, my clothing company Facebook page, which actually has a decent amount of pictures of different designs on my clothing, as well as the streams now. My LinkedIn account, Bernard Conkin. We are also live on that right now. So that's two Facebooks, so LinkedIn, Crypto Alchemist YouTube. We are live on you as well, of course. Plus BurnEye, mine's Third Eye ScienceGuy, my second YouTube channel, which we are also live on right now. And don't forget, if you're on Twitch, to please come to BurnCron BurnEye, BurnCron_BurnEye. That is I on Twitch, which we are also live on, and Twitter at BurnEye. Mine's 3R1 is my main Twitter handle. Also live on my second Twitter, BurnCron BurnEye. So yeah, 8 different accounts and platforms that this video is currently streaming to, and that we will be continuing to do. And going forward, there will be a lot more integration to make sure that we are streaming live on all of the participants in the different lives that we do in all of the weekly podcasts and monthly podcasts and conferences, which I will now share. Oh goodness, will I find it? Well, let's do this one. I will be also working on getting my community membership done. I have to put a little bit of time and work into the different perks for those that want to support my YouTube to generate a little bit of money through YouTube. And I haven't activated it yet because I actually want to put the time in to include bonuses and actual benefits through the YouTube for those that are able to and willing to pay for the memberships each month. Basic, I think, is $3, but then it's like the next one up, I think, is 8 or 10 or whatever it is. There's like 3 levels, but it's like if people, for those out there who do channelship members and wanting to support me that way, I want to make sure that it's worth it for your investments or your donations and your support. Thus, I still need to make a day of it to get it all going. But what I was originally rambling on about, all of the lives, and that when we go live, like on this Christmas bash, and there was over 15 or 20 different guests throughout this 11-hour, 12-minute stream trip around St. Petersburg, the cathedrals in Russia, modern-day Tartaria, from being co-hosted with Campbell in Australia, and we had Stellium 7, Mike from Spain, Martin Leedkey from UK, Richie Magic Treehouse in Azor. I believe it's Azores. I always get it wrong. Maybe it's the Canary Islands. And of course, Andreas Zerdis, back and forth between Minnesota and California, as well as, oh my goodness, I forgot. There was many others. There's a few other Australian mates. There was a couple more Europeans, North Americans, people from all around the world. It was epic. But next time we do one of these super long streams with so many different people, other channels, other big name channels, all joining in on this multi-stream, we'll make sure that it goes live on each person's channel simultaneously, so that we're actually live on 20 different YouTube channels throughout the 12-hour stream. It's going to be epic. I'm advancing Weekend at BurnEye is more. The original Weekend at BurnEye, 48-hour streams. We're going to get the 12 ones going, if not more. And point being, shout out CJDV, Alien Kiwi coming in from New Zealand, to Aaron Cobert, what? Oh, Aaron, what state are you in? You're in Louisiana? No. No, where is it? Anyways, all of you lovely, beautiful souls around the world, we're going to evolve this into next level media, YouTube, streaming programming, real science, as well as interesting alternative history researches and open minds, technology development, the world in every way through knowledge, through history, through free green energy. We're going to be doing it all. And on that note, 54 minutes and 54 seconds it was when I cut it at this point, really. Do we get a little bit more? I'll give one little last look around, see of the reaction here. You can start to see this gray-brown area separating about an inch deep from pushing the rest of the blood salt water down. It's what is making the silver is breaking down into mixing in with the amino acid and reactions. I do have to do so many other things today while the data is still on, so I'm going to cut this at an hour. But just for recording's sake, hopefully you're getting this. And you can see all the tiny atomic hydrogen bubbling off the zinc. Hopefully that is seeable. And that also this foam, it breaks down into the monatomic powder and also dries out as the oils of the amino acids. Anywho, enough of that. So much to do, so much going on, so many more streams. But that's not a newest day, being this one. I'm going to move it a bit closer. Show for next time. So any silver, like these are Olympic coins, but I think they might be sterling or partial, but they do have, they're minted by Royal Canadian with the Queen on it. It was the Montreal, the specific coins being Montreal Olympic silver commemorative coins, but any silver coin will do, preferably, actually, I'm going to be testing if any coin will do. I will double check whether these were sterling or not. Sometimes if it's a slight copper mix, alloy, not 100% pure silver, it will start to oxidize, turning diatomic, which is the nasty, nasty blue, blue teal diatomic, di being 2 atoms, a copper or a silver or a gold, whatever the element being, and an oxygen, thus the oxide. So it oxidizing, bonding that single atom with an oxygen, and that's how you will get pure atomic hydrogen out of the reaction, these little tiny bubbles coming up, that specific isotope that is able to be transmuted and a key part of my cold fusion transmutation alchemy process thesis and how it all works, but that's way more advanced and will be explained also in a monthly series called Adept Alchemy 101 that I will also be streaming with a lot of the APEC community and real science. That's what it is. But yes, those who want to make colloidal silver and monatomic silver, you want to get your silver dollars ordered as fast, or in order, as fast as you can. And see, this was the last monoatomic nano gold that I made. And so electroplating, or another part of electrolysis or skill, is getting a layer of crystal nano metal, being gold or silver or zinc, copper, any of them, but especially with the ancients and this electrolysis, discovery of this process, that along with the pure white single monoatomic you will also get nano crystal gold, which forms a crystal foil of still in third state solid metal, pure gold or copper or silver, whatever the element you are that you're using when you're making it. And then with this was pure gold and gold. That's why there's so little of it that I made this out of. And when I originally made it, this golden material, fluffy nanomaterial at the bottom was pure white, but I left, instead of rinsing it after the reaction from harvesting it, I left it, and all the pure gold. So colloidal, for instance, colloidal silver, as it's titled and sold in vet stores, health food stores, and whatnot, it's between like 9 parts to, I think, 22 or 23 parts per million of silver atoms dissolved into the million part per million water. That is the scientific mathematics of it. And just that 9, 10 to 20 parts per million of silver gives you this magical effect of this water, the healing properties of colloidal silver. When you are making and dissolving pure gold anode off of a pure gold cathode, this breaking down the third state solid gold bar anode into the fluffy single monoatomic fourth state nanostructured nano or monoatomic gold, the solid gold has to dissolve into the water fully and break down and bond with the water chemically with the salt and the water in it, and it becomes almost fully saturated. And then when doing it right in harmonic, it becomes super saturated, and instead of forming as a solid crystal, it comes out as that monoatomic, fluffy, single plasma state matter. But when you cut the reaction out by cutting it off of the ongoing electrolysis reaction, taking it out, the water that you have is still fully saturated of that other part of the solid gold metal reaction. Thus, it's heavy water because it's 1 million parts per million gold per water molecule bonded reaction in existence with it. I guess maybe not 100, not 1 million per million, but probably maybe like 10,000 or maybe even 100,000. It's ridiculous how much. And then no, for mass, anyways. Point being, it's some way higher amount. And when you leave it, a gold foil will form along the entire casing, or a diatomic. Oh, I need to find one that has it. This one, is it going to show it? See, a lot of it is now fallen off because these are a couple years old. There you can see this gold foil still a bit on it. But point being, it crystallizes and forms this foil layering coming out of the water and re-solidifying. In the reaction, one key aspect in understanding and product of these overall reactions and working with it. Why I was mentioning it all, so I have gold, monoatomic gold that I still haven't harvested, that remains pure white in color and single atom mono 1-for-1 fluffy, doesn't take on the gold color. This was formed because I didn't flush that water that had that saturated solid gold. So instead of it crystallizing, it instead, on the jar, on the outside, it actually bonded with the monoatomic matter of gold, and it's now nanocrystallized monoatomic gold. So it's a plasmid with crystal gold. So it's like one particle. It could be essentially a diatomic combination, but it's one fluffy mono atom of it and one dense nano crystal structure of it on its smallest solid scale, paired, which might make it exponentially more potent and stronger. It's just one of the many, many tests that eventually need to be done and found out to advance these metamaterials and combine the lost ancient geopolymer nanotechnology, alchemy, higher sciences of cold fusion, electrolysis, Alchem, and apply it into our living lives. Anywho, I think that's enough for today. We're at 107 hours. Oh, right. See, and I'm gonna, in one of the Adept Alchemy 101 streams, we will also be doing call-ins and a whole bunch of other. There's so many different channels we are going to be having on, already consistently having on, but are adding on oh so many more. And to all of you amazing souls that are participating, that are on, that I'm in the works with, that are reproducing it all, that already do it on your own. It's amazing. This community is the best. And there will be a lot more of my publishing these different experiments of my past and the recordings of them, the self-organization of matter, the easy sound, the different articles. But it all only is possible thanks to all of you who support and help out this channel, and for the $5 New Zealand. I also, and if you heard me bitch about how bad YouTube was ripping off, I thought they were taking 2/3 before. No, they're only taking 1/3. The way they had structured it, when I saw the super chats, I thought I was getting only 1/3 of the total amount donated, but it was because I didn't see that it was over 2 months' time and that it was split in two. So they actually only take 1/3. So they do take 33%, but I do have 1,000 so far raised that will eventually be coming to me. That is another full day's worth of work that I have to do in registering my taxes through YouTube and all of that. So that is what I should do after this. Love you all. Catch you tonight with Campbell, AutoDidactic Alchemist. The episode we will be doing is Old World Maps, Lost Cities and Rivers of Tartaria and Barbaria. Tonight with Campbell on AutoDidactic Alchemist. See you souls then. Have a blessed day. Catch you on the next one.